The massive alien ship appeared over Earth's orbit on a quiet Tuesday morning. Its sleek, silver hull reflected sunlight like a second moon, causing millions to stop and stare at the sky. The Galactic Council had finally discovered humanity, though not by accident as many would later believe. Inside the United Nations emergency chamber, Tom Walker wiped sweat from his forehead. As Earth's chosen diplomat, he had spent the last 3 days in non-stop meetings with world leaders. Now, he stood before the alien delegation, trying not to show any sign of fear. "We welcome you to Earth," he said, his voice steady despite his racing heart. The aliens, tall beings with smooth blue skin and large eyes, nodded in acknowledgement. Their translator, a floating silver sphere, converted his words into musical tones. The lead alien, who called himself Elder Bright Eye, stepped forward. "The Galactic Council extends greetings to humanity. We have watched your development with great interest." In the back of the room, military officers from various nations exchanged worried glances. Humanity had been watched. For how long? The negotiations started well. The Council offered technology exchanges, trade routes, and cultural sharing. Earth would gain access to faster-than-light travel, medical advances, and clean energy. In return, they wanted mining rights to some uninhabited parts of the solar system and Earth's pledge to follow Council laws. However, unknown to both humans and the Council representatives, dark forces were at work. The Bright Crest Empire, a powerful member of the Council, had their own plans. They saw Earth's potential as a threat rather than an opportunity. On the third day of negotiations, their plan unfolded. As Walker presented Earth's counterproposal, alarms blared throughout the building. Outside, 3 human military bases had exploded simultaneously. The Bright Crest Empire's agents had planted advanced explosives, making them look like human weapons. "This is troubling," Elder Bright Eye said, his large eyes narrowing. "Your people prepare for war while speaking of peace." Walker stood up, his face pale. "No, we would never." Another explosion rocked the building. Through the windows, they could see smoke rising from the direction of a civilian airport. The Bright Crest's plan worked perfectly. It looked like human extremists were attacking both alien and human targets. "The Council cannot trust a species that plays such games," Elder Bright Eye announced, his translator sphere turning red. "We thought you were ready for galactic civilization. We were wrong." Walker tried desperately to explain, to ask for an investigation, but the damage was done. The alien delegation retreated to their ship, leaving Earth's future hanging by a thread. In orbit, aboard the Council's diplomatic vessel, a hidden Bright Crest agent sent an encrypted message. "Phase 1 complete. The primitives are discredited. Proceed with containment." Back on Earth, as governments worldwide scrambled to respond to the crisis, Walker sat alone in his office, staring at the last transmission from the Council. It was a formal warning, declaring Earth a potential threat to galactic peace. He didn't know it yet, but the Bright Crest Empire had just made a terrible mistake. They had studied human technology, human weapons, and human tactics. But they had failed to study human history. They didn't understand what happened when humanity was backed into a corner. As night fell over the UN building, emergency meetings began worldwide. Military commanders dusted off old invasion defense plans. Scientists began analyzing the alien technology they'd glimpsed, and in secure bunkers across the planet, humanity's leaders prepared for what was coming. The stars twinkled innocently above, but they no longer seemed friendly. Humanity had just been thrust onto the galactic stage in the worst possible way. But if the aliens thought humans would go quietly into the night, they were about to learn a harsh lesson. In the coming days, the galaxy would learn why you should never provoke humans. The story of humanity's fight for survival was about to begin. 2 weeks after the failed peace talks, the Bright Crest Empire made their move. Their warships appeared near Jupiter, a fleet so vast it looked like a new constellation in Earth's telescopes. The Galactic Council had given them permission to contain the human threat. In the Pentagon's war room, Admiral Kate Stone watched the alien fleet's approach on massive screens. Unlike many others, she hadn't lost her calm. 20 years of military service had taught her that panic was the first step to defeat. "They're moving exactly as you predicted, sir," her assistant reported, pointing to the fleet formations. Stone nodded. "Predictable. They think we're primitive, so they're not bothering to hide their movements." She turned to face the room full of military leaders. "That's their first mistake." On the other side of the world, James Miller stood before the remaining alien ambassadors who hadn't fled Earth. The old veteran's voice was rough but clear. "You need to tell your people to turn back," he warned. "You don't understand what you're starting." The aliens laughed, their translator spheres turning various shades of amused purple. "Your species hasn't even reached your own moon in 30 years, one said. "Your weapons are primitive. Your ships are slow. What chance do you think you have?" Miller's weathered face remained serious. "We stopped going to the moon because we found more interesting things to do." He paused, letting his words sink in. "Did any of you ever wonder why a species smart enough to split the atom suddenly stopped exploring space?" The aliens' laughter died down. For the first time, doubt crept into their large eyes. But it was too late for warnings. The Bright Crest fleet launched their first attack on the Mars colonies. They expected an easy victory against the small human outposts. Their scanners showed minimal defenses and outdated technology. They were wrong. As soon as the alien ships came within range, the surface of Mars lit up. Hidden defense platforms, disguised as mining equipment, sprang to life. The first wave of alien ships flew straight into a web of Earth's newest weapons, technology that had been kept secret for decades. In the war room, Admiral Stone allowed herself a small smile. "Send the signal," she ordered. "Operation Darwin begins now." Across the solar system, humanity revealed its true face. The primitive defense satellites turned out to be advanced weapons platforms. The outdated Mars colonies deployed shields that the aliens thought humans couldn't possibly have developed. "Impossible," the Bright Crest commander shouted, watching a third of his fleet suffer heavy damage. Their technology, they couldn't have hidden this. But they had. While the world watched space movies and dreamed of reaching Mars again, Earth's best minds had been busy. They had prepared for this exact scenario. First contact gone wrong. Back on Earth, Miller watched the battle data with the shocked alien ambassadors. "You see," he said quietly, "humans have a special talent. We look at something advanced, something seemingly impossible, and we don't give up. We figure it out. We make it work. Then we make it better." The aliens watched in stunned silence as their primitive opponents destroyed ship after ship with weapons that shouldn't have existed. Admiral Stone's voice crackled over the global communication system. "To all Earth forces, execute Pattern Delta. Show them what humanity can really do." As the battle raged around Mars, the Bright Crest Empire learned their second important lesson about humans. Appearances can be deceiving. What looked like a simple containment operation was about to become the biggest military miscalculation in galactic history. In orbit around Jupiter, more human ships emerged from hiding. The real war was about to begin, and humanity was far from helpless. The aliens had ignored the warning, and now they would face the consequences of underestimating Earth. The stars themselves seemed to hold their breath, waiting to see what these surprising humans would do next. The battle for Mars had shocked the Bright Crest Empire, but their leader wasn't ready to admit defeat. "Send in the main fleet," he ordered from his golden command chair. "Show these humans what real power looks like." Thousands of alien ships jumped into view around Earth's orbit. Their massive weapons charged up, creating beautiful but deadly lights in the night sky. Many humans looked up in fear, wondering if this was their last day. But Admiral Stone had been waiting for this moment. In her command center deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, she pressed a red button. "Release the drones," she ordered. What looked like a cloud of space debris suddenly came alive. Millions of tiny robots, each no bigger than a coffee cup, swarmed toward the alien fleet. The bright crest ships fired their weapons, but trying to hit the drones was like trying to shoot individual raindrops in a storm. Impossible, the bright crest commander shouted as the drones attached themselves to his ships. Their AI shouldn't be this advanced. Then the drones did something unexpected. Instead of exploding, they began to dig. Like tiny metal ants, they burrowed into the alien ships' hulls. Within minutes, ship after ship began losing power. "Sir," one of Stone's officers reported, "the harvest is working. We're downloading their technology data exactly as planned." Stone nodded. This was why they had let the aliens get so close. Human scientists didn't just want to fight the aliens. They wanted to learn from them. On the other side of the planet, James Miller led a different kind of attack. His small fleet of stealth ships, painted with the darkest material ever created, slipped between the alien formations. They carried Earth's deadliest surprise, soldiers in powered armor suits. "Remember your training," Miller told his troops. "We're not just fighting for Earth. We're fighting to show the galaxy what humans can do." The Space Marines launched from their ships, using the confusion of the drone attack as cover. They landed on the larger alien vessels like silent, deadly meteors. Their armor, designed after years of studying leaked alien technology, let them walk right through the enemy's security fields. Inside the alien ships, the Marines found something surprising. The mighty Bright Crest warriors, when faced with close combat, weren't very good fighters. Years of relying on advanced technology had made them soft. These aliens never had to fight for their survival. Miller said over the radio as his team captured their third ship. "Not like we did. Not like we always have." Back in the command center, Admiral Stone watched as more alien ships went dark. The drones had done their job perfectly. Earth now had access to the enemy's most advanced technology. "Begin Phase 2, she ordered. Across Earth, hidden launch sites opened. Humanity's real weapons, kept secret for decades, rose into the sky. They looked simple, almost crude, but they carried technology that married human innovation with what they'd learned from studying alien signals. The Bright Crest fleet never saw it coming. The human weapons didn't just copy alien technology, they improved it. Shields that should have been impenetrable fell. Armor that could survive a star's heat melted. How? The Bright Crest commander demanded as his ships retreated. How are they doing this? The answer was simple. Humans had spent centuries preparing for this moment. Every science fiction story, every space movie, every imagined alien invasion had helped them get ready. While other species looked down on humans as primitive, humanity had been quietly building, planning, and innovating. As the alien fleet retreated in chaos, Admiral Stone sent a message to all Earth forces. "The real war starts now. Show them why you never corner a human." The stars watched as humanity's true power was finally revealed. The galaxy was about to learn that humans weren't just survivors. They were innovators, warriors, and the most dangerous species anyone had ever provoked. The first strike was over. The real battle for Earth's place in the galaxy was about to begin. In a secret laboratory beneath the Australian desert, Dr. Mark Taylor stared at the alien technology spread across his workbench. 3 weeks ago, these pieces had been part of the most advanced warships in the galaxy. Now, they were being taken apart by human scientists. "Sir," his assistant called out, "you need to see this." On their testing range, a captured alien shield generator sparked to life. But instead of creating the usual blue barrier, it produced something new. A swirling, golden field of energy that was twice as strong and used half the power. "How did you do that?" Dr. Taylor asked, his eyes wide with excitement. His assistant grinned. "We were thinking about it wrong. The aliens built everything to be perfect, precise. But we tried something different. We made it messy, like nature. It works better." This scene was repeating across the planet. Humans weren't just copying alien technology. they were improving it. What the aliens had taken centuries to develop, human scientists were rebuilding and enhancing in weeks. Admiral Stone received the reports with satisfaction. "Send the upgrades to all ships," she ordered. "It's time to show the Bright Crest Empire what human engineering can do." In space, the alien fleet was still trying to recover from their first defeat. Their commander couldn't understand how things had gone so wrong. "These humans," he muttered, watching the battle recordings again, "they don't fight like any species we've ever seen." He was right. While alien races developed their technology in careful, logical steps, humans took giant leaps. They tried crazy ideas. They combined things that shouldn't work together. And somehow, they made it work. James Miller and his Space Marines had captured more alien ships, but now they did something unexpected. They started improving them. Human engineers ripped out the careful, precise alien systems and replaced them with hybrid versions that were faster, stronger, and completely unpredictable. "The aliens think we're copying their homework," Miller told his troops as they prepared another captured ship. "But we're actually rewriting the whole textbook." In the Galactic Council chamber, alarm spread as new reports arrived. The primitive humans had not only survived the Bright Crest Empire's attack, they were pushing back. And they were using technology that shouldn't have been possible. "How can they understand our science so quickly?" one council member demanded. An old alien scholar answered quietly. "Because they never stopped being curious. While we perfect what we know, they always ask, what if?" Back on Earth, Dr. Taylor made another breakthrough. His team had discovered why alien shields were so vulnerable to human attacks. "They're too perfect," he explained to Admiral Stone over a video call. "They block everything exactly the same way, every time. So we made ours random, chaotic, like Earth's magnetic field. The aliens can't predict what they'll do." Stone smiled. This was humanity's true strength. Not their weapons or their ships, but their ability to look at advanced technology and say, "We can make this better." The final piece fell into place when Miller's teams discovered the alien fleet's main weakness. Their ships were protected against every known weapon in the galaxy, but they had no defense against the impossible things humans kept inventing. "Launch the new weapons," Stone commanded. "Show them what human creativity can do." Across the solar system, Earth's ships powered up their hybrid drives. They carried weapons that combined alien power with human ingenuity. The Bright Crest Empire was about to learn that giving humans access to advanced technology was like giving matches to a species that had already mastered fire. As Earth's forces prepared for their biggest attack yet, one thing became clear. The turning point of this war wouldn't be decided by who had the most advanced technology. It would be decided by who could use it in ways no one had ever imagined before. And when it came to imagination, humans were unmatched in the galaxy. Operation Thunderbolt began on a quiet morning. Earth's combined fleet, now equipped with hybrid human-alien technology, dropped out of warp space all around the Bright Crest Empire's main fleet. "Remember," Admiral Stone's voice echoed through every human ship, "they think they know what we can do. Let's prove them wrong." The alien commander stared at his screens in disbelief. According to every law of physics his people knew, the human ships shouldn't have been able to appear there. The space around his fleet was protected by gravity distortion fields that made warp travel impossible. But humans had found a way. Dr. Taylor's team had discovered that riding the edge of a warp field, like surfing a wave, could slip through the aliens' defenses. It wasn't elegant, it wasn't safe, but it worked. "All ships, attack pattern Delta," Stone ordered. The human fleet split apart like a breaking wave, each ship following a different, seemingly random path. The Bright Crest ships fired their weapons, filling space with deadly energy beams. But the humans had learned from their earlier battles. Their ships danced through the attacks, protected by shields that flickered and changed like the northern lights. On his captured ship, now painted with Earth colors, James Miller led the next phase of the attack. "Launch the boarders," he commanded. Thousands of space marines in their powered armor suits shot out from hidden bays. This time, the aliens were ready for boarding actions. Their ships bristled with anti-infantry weapons. But once again, humans did something unexpected. The Space Marines' suits suddenly split apart, each one becoming 3 smaller units. The aliens' targeting computers couldn't keep up with the sudden increase in targets. "Sir," a young officer called out to Miller, "the new fusion drives are ready." Miller nodded. "Light them up." The captured alien ships, modified with human technology, suddenly accelerated to speeds their original designers had thought impossible. They weren't just breaking the rules of space combat. They were rewriting them. Back on Earth, Tom Walker stood before the remaining Galactic Council representatives. "As you can see," he said, "playing videos of the battle, the Bright Crest Empire lied to you. They attacked us first, and now they're learning why that was a mistake." The alien diplomats watched in stunned silence as human ships performed maneuvers that should have torn them apart. They saw human warriors using alien technology in ways no one had ever imagined. "How?" one of them finally asked. "How did you advance so quickly?" Walker smiled. "We didn't advance. We adapted. There's a difference." In space, the battle reached its peak. The Bright Crest fleet tried to retreat, but found themselves trapped by their own gravity fields, which the humans had turned against them. Admiral Stone's voice rang out again. "All ships, execute final phase." Every human vessel activated their new weapons, devices that combined Earth's nuclear technology with alien power systems. The result was something the galaxy had never seen before. Beams of light twisted in impossible ways, guided by artificial gravity fields. Shields that could stop planets from colliding fell before weapons that ignored the normal rules of physics. "They're not just using our technology," the Bright Crest commander realized too late. "They're using it better than we ever did." The battle ended faster than anyone expected. The mighty Bright Crest fleet, pride of the galaxy, found themselves surrounded and outmaneuvered by a species they had dismissed as primitive just months ago. As the alien ships surrendered one by one, Admiral Stone sent a final message. "Let this be a lesson to the galaxy. Humanity doesn't just survive. We thrive on challenges. We take what we learn and make it our own." The stars seemed to shine brighter that day, as if they too were impressed by humanity's victory. The counterattack was complete, but humans weren't finished yet. They had bigger plans for their place in the galaxy. And this time, no one would dare call them primitive. Word spread across the galaxy like wildfire. The mighty Bright Crest Empire, feared for centuries, was losing to a species that had only recently discovered space travel. One by one, other alien races began to withdraw their support from the Empire. In the grand meeting hall of the Galactic Council, Tom Walker presented his evidence. The room fell silent as he showed proof of the Bright Crest Empire's deception. Their secret attacks, their lies, and their attempts to destroy Earth before humans could join the galactic community. "We didn't want this war," Walker said, his voice firm. "But we will finish it." On the main screen behind him, videos played showing human ships appearing and disappearing across the galaxy. The aliens couldn't understand how Earth's fleet seemed to be everywhere at once. Deep in space, Admiral Stone watched her fleet's movements with pride. The aliens still hadn't figured out their secret. Humans had learned to travel through the space between normal space. Dr. Taylor called it pocket space jumping, and it let human ships pop up anywhere they wanted. "Target spotted," her radar officer reported. "Bright Crest headquarters in range." Stone nodded. "Begin the final approach." The human fleet emerged from pocket space right above the Bright Crest home system. But this time, they didn't attack. Instead, Stone sent a message that was broadcast to every planet and ship in range. "People of the Bright Crest Empire," she said, "your leaders lied to you. They started this war. We're here to end it. Surrender now, and we promise fair treatment." In his grand palace, the Bright Crest Emperor raged at his generals. How did they find us? How are they doing this? He smashed his hand on his golden throne. Fight back. Use everything we have. But his own people had seen enough. Across the empire, ships refused to fire on the humans. Colonies declared their independence. The empire that had stood for 1,000 years was falling apart. James Miller and his space marines had one last mission. They slipped into the Emperor's palace using their advanced stealth technology. But instead of weapons, they carried data drives. People of the Empire, Miller's voice boomed through the palace speakers. Watch this. The drives contained everything. The Emperor's secret orders, the planned attack on Earth, the lies told to the Council. As the truth played on every screen, the Emperor's own guards turned against him. Back on Earth, Dr. Taylor made one final discovery. The aliens weren't more advanced than us. He explained to the world's leaders. They just stopped trying to improve. They thought they knew everything. That was their biggest mistake. The Galactic Council watched in amazement as more human ships appeared throughout the galaxy, not to attack, but to help. They shared medical technology, helped repair damaged planets, and showed new ways to use old technology. Humans are dangerous, one council member said, but not in the way we thought. They're dangerous because they make us question everything we thought we knew. Admiral Stone's fleet surrounded the Bright Crest capital. The Emperor's palace shields were the strongest in the galaxy, but they meant nothing to human ships that could step through pocket space. Your choice, Stone transmitted to the palace. Surrender with honor, or we show you just how creative humans can be when we're pushed. The Emperor looked out at the human fleet, finally understanding his mistake. He had tried to crush a species that turned every defeat into a lesson, every setback into an opportunity to grow stronger. I surrender, he said, his words echoing across the galaxy. As human ships moved in to secure the palace, other alien races watched with new respect and a touch of fear. Humanity hadn't just defeated one of the strongest empires in the galaxy. They had revolutionized warfare, technology, and space travel in the process. The storm was ending, but its effects would ripple through the galaxy forever. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, and no one would ever underestimate them again. 1 year after the surrender of the Bright Crest Empire, the galaxy was a very different place. On the rebuilt Galactic Council space station, representatives from 100 alien races gathered to witness something historic, Earth's official joining of the Council. Tom Walker stood at the speaker's podium, looking out at the assembled aliens. Some were tall and graceful, others short and strong, but all watched him with the same mix of respect and caution. A year ago, he began, many of you thought humans were primitive. Today, we offer you something that might surprise you. Friendship. The alien representatives murmured among themselves. After seeing what humans could do in war, they had expected demands, maybe even threats. Instead, Earth was offering cooperation. Admiral Stone, now wearing a formal uniform decorated with both Earth and galactic medals, stood nearby. She remembered the battles, the innovations, and the victories. But what made her proudest wasn't the winning. It was what humans did after. Let me show you what Earth can offer, Walker continued. On the massive screens behind him, images appeared. Humans working alongside aliens to rebuild damaged worlds. Dr. Taylor and his team teaching others how to improve their technology. James Miller training mixed-species crews in new space exploration techniques. We don't want to rule the galaxy, Walker explained. We want to explore it, to learn from it, to make it better. The Council's new leader, a wise alien who had supported Earth during the war, stepped forward. Humanity has proven itself not just in war, but in peace. They take what they learn and share it. They see problems and fix them. They face challenges and grow stronger. In the Council archives, a new warning was officially recorded. Never provoke the humans. Not because they are dangerous, though they are, but because they will surprise you. They will adapt. They will overcome. And then, most surprisingly, they will help you become better too. Deep in space, Earth's first official galactic exploration fleet prepared for launch. Its crews were mixed. Humans working alongside aliens who had once been enemies. They carried with them humanity's greatest gifts: curiosity, creativity, and the drive to never stop improving. Dr. Taylor had opened schools across the galaxy, teaching others how to think like humans, how to question everything, try new things, and learn from failures. His students included former Bright Crest engineers, who now understood that perfect technology wasn't always the best technology. The former Bright Crest Emperor, now living under house arrest, watched Earth's broadcasts with amazement. "We thought we were teaching them a lesson," he told his guards. Instead, they taught the galaxy one. James Miller had retired from active duty, but he hadn't stopped working. He now led the new Galactic Defense Force, where he taught one simple lesson: the strongest weapon isn't your technology, it's your ability to adapt. At the council ceremony, Walker finished his speech with words that would be remembered for centuries. Earth is ready to join the galaxy, not as conquerors, not as victims, but as equals. We bring with us our greatest strength, not our weapons or our technology, but our endless desire to learn, to grow, and to become better than we are today. The council chamber erupted in applause. Even the most cautious aliens had to admit that humans had changed the galaxy for the better. They had showed that being advanced wasn't about having perfect technology. It was about never stopping trying to improve. As the ceremony ended, Admiral Stone looked out at the stars through the station's huge windows. They didn't look alien anymore. They looked like home. "Ready for the next adventure?" Walker asked her. Stone smiled. The galaxy won't know what hit it. And so began humanity's true role in the galaxy, not as the primitive newcomers, not as the unstoppable warriors, but as the species that showed everyone else how to reach for the stars and never stop reaching higher. The warning remained in the council records forever. Never provoke the humans. But now it carried a new meaning. Never underestimate their ability to change the galaxy for the better.